We're now getting some more new details about what the return to school will look like in the fall. In the past hour, the state released specifics that will impact classrooms, cafeterias, and more. Channel 3 Eyewitnesses' Matthew Campbell is here now with what parents need to know. And I know, Matthew, I was watching this with quite a bit of interest because we're wondering what the fall is going to be like for our kids.
Yeah, Dennis, one thing that is important to note is what was released today. That's just the guideline for schools all across the state. The specific plan for your district is still being developed by your district. So expect each plan to vary somewhat depending on where you live. But this is what we know so far right now. Similar to what we're seeing in grocery stores, hallways in schools will be open for one-way traffic. We're also going to see specific doors for entry and exits. During recess on Face the State, we learned there could be more recess outside. And during those periods, students are expected to only have recess with those in their class, with the equipment being disinfected after each use. Now, when it comes time for lunch, this is really going to depend on the district because some cafeterias may be used as classrooms. So the state wants to ensure that whatever is being rolled out is done with social distancing in mind. So we could see lunch being held in the classrooms of each grade. Now, there is still a lot to process here, and since the details of this plan were first released on Thursday, some parents didn't like what they heard. The state says going back is voluntary, but if families do want to continue their distance learning, that is always an option. So we wanted to learn more about what that could look like.
But I was wondering how that might affect staffing, because I imagine a teacher will be dedicated to teaching in class. Would they be responsible for the online learning as well?
Yes, the option for families to continue with remote learning, if that's what they feel most comfortable with for their children, will be available. How that looks in districts, we'll be developing a plan for that and supporting districts. We know that there's not always one approach that's best for all communities, so we're listening to how districts consider this and work with them to try to share best practices there.
So again, you just heard that a lot of those important details will be left up to each district, and they are working on developing those plans right now. Much more at 6, including how sports could be affected. For now, live above the news, Matthew Campbell, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.